Anger is a destroyer of life. It's a destroyer of relationships. It's a destroyer of a lot of the aspects of anybody's life and career. Therefore, I would really encourage you to focus on not being angry. And how do you do that? How do you achieve that? Today, I'm going to talk about the exact step-by-step process that I use to control my anger in less than a minute. It takes only 4 things that you need to do in order to achieve that. So, let's get into it.
My name is Ahmad, and I'm an entrepreneur and an educator. And on this channel, I specifically talk about personal development and traveling. So I'd encourage you to please subscribe and hit the bell notification for more content like this. Let's get into the video.
Let me start by asking you a question. How many times have you regretted what you've said? I, for one, have always regretted what I have said to people while I was angry. And that's the motive of this video today, to teach you guys how you can control your anger. So in this video, I'll talk about what is anger, why do we get angry, and what steps do we need to take in order to control our anger and direct it into a more positive way of life and become successful with this tool that we have. Anger, just like any other emotion, is a part of you. It's a tool that you can use to fuel you forward in life or absolutely destroy you. It's a state where you are not in control of your behavior, of what you do and what you say. There are 2 main types of people who actually get angry. The first one is called eruptors. Now, eruptors are very aggressive and they really express their anger to the loudest or the most expressive way possible. And because of that, their mentality and their approach to certain things often end up leading them to regret their decisions. One main advantage for eruptors is the fact that they can get rid of their anger quite quickly and they can move on with their lives quite easily by forgetting about what had happened. But there is something even worse than eruptors, in my opinion, and they're called stuffers. And these guys are actually pent up their anger for a very, very long time. They stuff their anger. They deny its existence. They feel tightened within themselves. And once that anger reaches a certain point, they express that anger with such velocity and such veracity that it actually causes them to completely lose themselves and have no control over their anger whatsoever. Anger generally is a response to threat. So your amygdala, which controls the subconscious part of your brain, it disconnects from the conscious part of the brain, which is prefrontal cortex. And it's a defense mechanism evolutionary built into your system. Therefore, once you get angry, once you face a threat, your amygdala takes control over your physical presence. Therefore, you have no time to actually think from the prefrontal cortex. And that's when you go into this reactionary mode to attack or to erupt. So step 1 is to control your breathing. Your brain, whilst you're angry, is not receiving enough oxygen. So therefore, it doesn't have enough time to process what is going on around you. Therefore, the only thing that it can do is to react and react as quickly as possible. And it's a defense mechanism against an action that has taken place. Therefore, it's very, very important to start recognizing that, start addressing that issue in your mind and breathing as deep as possible to allow the oxygen to get to the brain, to give yourself time to process what has happened to you. Realize that your heart starts beating faster whilst you're angry. You'll also start clenching your fist. You'll see that you'll have erratic movements. So being present, being mindful of that, allowing yourself to be aware of that and unclenching your fist and telling yourself that this is a momentary lapse in your consciousness, you will be able to control that period in your time. And that is the most important aspect of controlling your anger, controlling your physicality, controlling your expressive emotion at that moment in time. And what most of us fail to realize is that there is a way in which you can manage your anger really well and express it in a very healthy way. And Shaman Durek actually talks about it in his book called Spirit Hacking, where he says that you can actually face your anger, you can actually address it, and by addressing it, you're dissociating yourself from it. By addressing it as a separate entity, by calling its name, by really consciously asking yourself why I'm being angry right now, allows you to separate yourself from this negative emotion. So I unclench my fists and relax my muscles and really try and talk to myself, as Shaman Durek says in Spirit Hacking. And then I try and move away from that situation as quickly as possible. And I take a journal here and I write everything down in that journal. Whatever's happened, I write it down. And by writing it down, I tend to analyze it because I express all of my emotions onto a journal. I find journaling my anger to be a really effective way to rationalize my thought process, to understand why I got angry in the first place and was it a right reason for me to actually get angry. And secondly, it allows me to express my emotions in a more constructive and more reasonable way later on. So I make that person who I got angry with understand why I was being angry, and if I was unreasonable at any point, it allows me to apologize for the way I may have reacted. These have actually found that anger is quite detrimental to your cardiovascular system. It has shown to increase heart attacks in a lot of patients and other cardiovascular diseases. It is also shown to weaken the immune system as well. So anger in no way, shape or form is a good emotion to keep inside. So therefore there's a good chance, or there's a good way in which you can express that anger in a more constructive, in a more productive way possible. A long-term solution that I have found of being angry or controlling your anger is to actually go to the gym. I go to the gym and I hit the punching bag as much as possible. Let that anger out of your system, and really it genuinely helps in a constructive way for me to just calm down and relax after I finish the gym. And really you can express that anger on your weights. You can express that anger on any aspect, any physical aspect of your life that really have no dire consequences for you in the long run. Last but not least, seek context and see a consultant of some kind, maybe an anger management consultant. Because going to somebody like that, if you have periodic issues or repetitive issues with anger, I would really encourage you that you should go to somebody who knows how to control it on a more personal way and try and understand the reasons as to why you're angry all the time a lot better than some dude on YouTube, basically. So this concludes my list of why you get angry and how you can actually control it. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I hope that I've even made a small difference in your life. If you found this video to be even a little bit useful to you, I'd really encourage you to like the video, as it really helps out the channel and allows for the channel to grow as much as possible and allows it to benefit others. And subscribe to the channel and comment down below what are your anger issues and what are you doing to resolve that. And if you're looking for an anger management consultant or somebody to help you, or a personal development coach, I have just launched a website called vitaleducators.com, which is designed to help people like you to control their several parts of their lives, from their education to their career to their personal development. So go to the website, the links are in the descriptions below.